You need to be way more delusional. It's a mindset I've had almost for my whole life. People telling me I couldn't do things and achieving almost the impossible. This is the same thing used by successful people, from entrepreneurs to actors to whatever crazy things you've seen achieved, have been done through this power we call delusion. But why is it that we get stopped from being delusional? It's because our society shames people who are dreamers, who are imagining things. But in this video, I'm going to explain to you how being delusional is the key way to turning your imagination into income. And it's not just some woo-woo concept out there. Science has even shown us that people who are more delusional are activating other parts of their brains, other parts of their minds that are mostly dormant in most other people. And it's the driving force that allows you to connect and believe in things that are much bigger than yourselves. Because we can believe in things that we can do with our own will and reason, our own power that we generate, through food that we're eating and air we're breathing. And we can put our energy to work and our focus to work, but that will only get us so far. The difference between the average mediocre people who never break past their glass ceiling in their lives and those who actually truly realize their full purpose and potential is this very thing, is this act of being delusional. So what is being delusional? Let's get right into it here. Being delusional actually activates a part of your mind that in most people is actually dormant. And you could see this in people who are dreamers, who are imagining things, but are then able to actually take action and turn those things into reality. You may know a few of these people in your life, or you may even be one of these people. But when you activate the delusional part of your mind, it actually is your right hemisphere. We mostly use our left hemispheres of our brains in everyday society to get things done. We use reason and logic and these sorts of things. But it's this act of being delusional, something that AI will honestly never even replace, that activates this infinite expansive awareness. That's what I call infinite expansive awareness. And what is that exactly? It's this idea of using this intuitive feeling part of your mind, this sixth sense, not the five senses that you're used to using, but something that you felt, a vibe. You have an ability to pick up on a vibe. And just as you have an ability to pick up on a vibe, you have an ability to emanate and radiate a certain vibration. A vibration is simply another way of saying your thoughts and emotions combine together, which create this sort of general feeling that radiates out. It's something that you can feel when you walk into a room. That charismatic person, that leader that can walk into a room and instantly demand attention before they've even said a word. And so it's this idea of being delusional and writing things down. First of all, well, let's talk about this in steps, right? The first step would probably be to write something down that really scares you. Something that's actually within your capabilities, but a goal that actually scares you. And that could be anything. If you're making $1,000 a month, does this scare you a little bit that you could actually possibly make $10,000? Or is that not scary enough? Maybe it's $100,000 a month. Something that feels like you could do it against all odds. Maybe there's a small percentage chance in your mind that it would be something you would be able to accomplish. But look at Elon Musk. Whatever you think about him politically, forget about that for a second. But the idea that this guy that grew up in this family was going to start all these different companies and now is flying rockets out in hopes of colonizing Mars, that would be a fucking scary goal, right? But it's his delusion that drives him to do that. Or it's perceived, or is a perceived delusion, people seeing him as delusional. But that doesn't matter. That's not here nor there. Write the goal down, whatever it is. And then think of that as your North Star. And whenever you are working towards this goal, it's of course important to take action. But realize what beliefs might need to fuel this delusion. What must you believe is true for this delusional thing that you're thinking about to also be true? Now, the last part here is something that many people are cut off from. It's this force. It's a positive, constructive force that's described by the law of attraction this universal energy that's all around us that makes up all things. Because all things originally came from a thought and an emotion, right? It's the ability to tap into this force that's much larger than ourselves. And you do this by getting into a state of silence. Going out somewhere, maybe out in the woods, spend some time alone. Spend some time with no headphones on. Spend some time not listening to the chatter around you. And when you do that, your mind will get quiet. But a voice will be heard much louder, and that will be the voice of your intuition. The subconscious part of your mind that has registered the delusional beliefs, the things that you believe to be true, the things that you believe that you are, and the things that you are being now. Because tomorrow will never come. Waiting was only going to push things away. The time is to act now. Write down the goal that scares you and do these things. And then sit in silence and see the intuitive guidance that comes up for you. Because the universe or God only wants you to win. And it's only when we make this connection with ourselves that it becomes apparent. And now, more than ever, it's important to be way more delusional. There's a universal life force energy starter guide down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, peace.